All right, we're going to look at another application of standard deviation, and that is the empirical rule, also known as the standard deviation rule, also known as the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. So this rule states that if you have a distribution of data, which remember that means the histogram is rough, and that histogram is roughly bell-shaped, then approximately 68% of the data will lie within one standard deviation of the mean. Approximately 95% of the data will lie within two standard deviations of the mean, and approximately 99.7% of the data will lie within three standard deviations of the mean. And I have here a picture showing what that rule means. So in the middle of this graph, we always put the mean. Then if we take the mean and we subtract the standard deviation, and we take the mean and we add the standard deviation, 68% of the data that we have collected is going to fall between those two numbers. 34% of the data is going to fall between one standard deviation below, so the mean minus the standard deviation, and the mean, or the mean and one above the standard deviation. If we take the mean and we subtract the standard deviation 2 times, and then we add the standard deviation to the mean 2 times, 95% of the data is going to fall between whatever those two numbers turn out to be. And then 13.5% of the data is going to be between that 2 standard deviation below number and the 1 standard deviation below number. And then 13.5% is going to be between the 1 standard deviation above and the 2 standard deviations above. And then we also have, if we take the standard deviation and we subtract it from the mean 3 times, and then we add it to the mean 3 times, almost 100%, 99.7% of the data that we've collected in this histogram that is bell-shaped is going to fall between those two numbers. And then we have 2.35% of the data between 2 and 3 standard deviations below or above. And finally, because it's not quite 100%, we have this little tiny region where 0.15% of the data lives, and that is anything more than 3 standard deviations above the mean, and anything more than 3 standard deviations below the mean. As we're looking at this, it's important to remember all of these percentages will stay the same no matter what, so long as you are looking at a distribution that is bell-shaped. These numbers down at the bottom are going to change depending on the mean and the standard deviation of the distribution that you are working with. So this is an introduction to the empirical rule. The next video is going to include an example of how to fill out this table and also how to use this table or distribution to answer some questions related to it.